Alright, good morning everyone, and see you again in this video. And for today's lessons, we are going to study the writing break 3. However, as you already know, we have learned a lot about our unit 3, which is about the infinitive and gerunds. However, we should look back to what we have learned from the previous unit to review those important lessons in case you might forget all those important points. So for these sessions, I would like to take these opportunities to review the Unit 2. And I hope you remember the title of Unit 2. And the Unit 2 in your writing break 3, you study about the present perfect tense. So in this video, we are going to look at the important point in those units. So what you are going to study here is the present perfect simple and present perfect continue. You will see the differences between these tenses, and at the same time there are some important concepts in the lessons that you need to remember. Without any further ado, let's look at this picture. And I hope you remember the picture because I have already showed you this picture in the video lessons earlier. In this picture, look at the conversations. The words are bold in black because they are the language point that you need to pay attention to. Let's look at the boy, what he said. We have been waiting here for 20 minutes, and here we are going to be late for the film. The important point that I want you to pay attention to is is this point have been waiting. As you can see, this is the structure of present perfect continuous or present perfect progressive. Here is the form have been plus verb ing. Do you remember the usage of this? Okay, we will look at this tense later. In this one, present perfect simple and continuous again. But look at the picture. I have been in hospital for 3 weeks. So here is the language structure have been, which is have or has plus past participle, or some people call it verb. Okay, verb 3. So this is the form of present perfect simple. So how can you use this? Sure. What do you know the difference between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous? It is very confusing if you cannot find a way how to differentiate those two tenses. But if you are able to differentiate it by using a minor point that can help you remember when to use present perfect simple and when to use present perfect continuous. I hope you still remember those important points. Anyway, if you cannot remember, so let's look at the explanations. So for the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous, both these tenses, they used to talk about past action, which means it happens in the past, and it is stated which are still connected to the present. Compared to the past simple, present perfect still have an effect up until the present times. It can be an experience which impact you now, or it can be some event or some situations that is happening again and again from the past up until now. So these are the general concept of the perfect tense. So let's look at the difference between these two tenses. If we talk about the um, result or the activity, we need to use two different tenses. So when we use present perfect simple, which means we focus on the result, we focus on the outcome. So look at the example. I have cleaned the bathroom. It looked lovely. So when you hear this type of sentence or you read it on the books, the focus of the speaker is to focus on the result. which means the room now clean. And why it clean? Because someone have cleaned the bathroom already, right? But the actions and the result is what they focus on. They don't put the focus on the time. However, if you focus on the activities, okay, you have been doing this for quite some time. So you use present perfect continuous. So I've been gathering. I have been gardening. It's so nice out there. And the focus of this sentence is not the result, but they focus on the activity here, been gardening. And this one, they focus on the result. For the present perfect simple, we also talk about how many. We want to talk about number. We focus on the quantity. We talk about present perfect simple. So let's look at the example. She's read 10 books this summer. So the focus here is 10 books, which is the number. And when we talk about the time or the durations, which is how long, we use have been reading book, which is present perfect continuous. Last but not least, when we describe a completed action, we use present perfect simple. However, if we describe an activity which may continue or is happening up until the present time, we use present perfect continuous, right? And here, when we can see evidence of recent activities, we also use present perfect continuous. Look at the example. The grass look wet. Has it been raining? Which means the rain has already stopped. However, you can see the result of those events. Let's look at another example. I know I'm really red. I've been running. So we focus on the evidence here. If we see the evidence right here, it is most likely that you use present perfect continuous. So here we are going to talk about the ongoing state and action, which has something to do with the state verb and the action verb. So if we're talking about ongoing state, we focus on the action which has happened in the past, and we focus on the durations or the state of the actions. Let's look at the example. How long have you known each other? So in the state of our knowing, it's a state of mind that you know someone. It is not the action at all. I have known each other since we were at school. So here, known is the state verb. We cannot use knowings, right? However, if we talk about the repeated action, so the repeated action, mostly we use the action verb to demonstrate the activities. So we use continuous. However, two of these has the same or similar meanings, but try to know what is action verb and what is stative verb, and avoid using continuous form in a stative verb. Okay, now we focus on another important concept, which is the um, prep, pre, which is the comparison between the two or three confusing tenses, which is past simple, present perfect simple, and present perfect continuous. To help you remember the three tenses easier, to help you differentiate between the three tenses, here are a quick note that is very useful. So the first one, when we talk about past simple, what you need to remember is past simple, we talk about action happens in the specific time in the past and fully ended in the past time. There is no connection to the present time. However, when we talk about present perfect simple, we focus on the action which happened in unstated time. So when it happened, it doesn't important in the past and connected to the present time. However, the focus of present perfect simple is on the action. On the other hand, the present perfect continuous is also used to talk about the action happened in unstated time in the past and still going on in the present time. So we focus on the duration or the action that is still happening when you are speaking. So these are the three basic concepts that you can help you differentiate between the three tenses. Okay, here are some useful concepts that you can use with present perfect tense. These are adverb or prepositions used to express the times. So let's look at the word seen. So if you want to use the word seen in present perfect, seen can be used with the time when the action started. So for example, you can use seen to talk about the starting point of your time. Let's say since last year, since June the 8th, or since I met you. However, for the word for, so we use for to talk about the whole durations. For example, I have known him for 2 years. We do not focus on when or the starting point, but the whole duration is 2 years. The other adverb, which is the word just. So just used with the present perfect, which means a short time before, which is recently past action. So just come between the auxiliary verb have past and the past participle. Let's say I just finished my work, which emphasizes that this action has recently finished. The word yet can also be used in present perfect tenses as well. Um, you can use yet with the present perfect, which means at any time up to now. We use it to emphasize that we expect some things to happen soon. Yet is only used in negative sentences and questions. Let's say, I haven't finished my homework yet. I haven't eaten my dinner yet. So yet is used to express a negative sentence. Last, we have the word already, which is quite popular in present perfect tense, and most of the time you can see this adverb appear in the present perfect tense. So already used with the present perfect, which means before now. So we use it to emphasize that something happened before something else or earlier than expected. Let's say I have already finished my homework, which means you are finished it before now. Okay. So everyone, these are the important concept of present perfect tense that you need to know. All these are the prepositions and adverb that you can use in order to emphasize a specific time and specific action. If you have any question related to those lessons, feel free to ask question in your online study group, which is the Telegram group that we are having right now. So everyone, that's it for the video lesson today, and I hope to see you again in the second sessions.